Hey everybody, this is just an intro to the video. The video gets somewhat emotional. I get emotional because it was an emotional day. But in this video we talk about mine and Caleb's journey to get pregnant, become parents. I also discuss my medical journey from the age of 13 to now, and getting my hormones back on track and getting my menstrual cycle back. This is also just a video that I hope brings hope and encouragement to anyone going through fertility or period issues, whatever the case. Know that you're not alone and we have your back and you are strong and you can do this. There are a couple clips that I could have redone where I was more put together, but I wanted to give my most authentic self to you guys, and it was a rough day. So without further ado, here you go. So I just got off the phone with my OB/GYN, and Caleb and I have been trying to get pregnant for a while now, and nothing has happened, obviously. So we went to the OB/GYN to get an update, or just to start the process of getting doctors involved. I've been doing acupuncture and taking Chinese herbs and trying things naturally as best as I can. But I got a phone call today from my OB/GYN saying that my ovary just isn't producing estrogen, meaning that the possibility of me getting pregnant on my own just might not be an option. I knew this was I knew that this could be the case. Working so hard and being so hopeful that it felt like it could happen. That being said, I want to give you a little background to my medical story. So when I was, I don't remember the age, junior high, I was very large in the stomach area, and I didn't understand why I was gaining weight. My stomach was getting larger and firm, and I was 11 or 12, starving myself, working out like crazy, not understanding what's happening. A little girl came up to my stomach and was like, "Baby," and like felt my stomach. I was like, at 12, you're like, what? Like, do I look like that? So I told my mom, and my mom was like, well, I don't know, Megan. And she touched my stomach and she felt how hard it was, and it was not normal how hard my stomach was. It did feel like I was pregnant, which at the time was not a possibility. Very quickly, in a week's time, I had an ultrasound done, and they couldn't find any of my organs. They were all towards my spine, and I was rushed into emergency surgery with an oncologist, and she removed an 11-pound, 13-inch ovarian benign tumor from my right ovary, which encompassed my entire right ovary. So removed my right ovary as well. And then with that, the next year removed some of a cyst on my left ovary, leaving me with a very small portion of my left ovary, in hopes that when I was ready I could get pregnant. And I was 19. My oncologist had said she was looking into possibly removing that cyst that was left on my left ovary, and in so doing it might end up, she might have to remove my left ovary. So she wanted to get me in through IVF to hopefully freeze some of my eggs before this was a possibility. So at 19 I went in for 2 weeks of IVF, only to get to a couple days before extraction, and they told me that they had to cancel the treatment because it wasn't working. They couldn't get a mature follicle. It went from like some days it would show like 2, some days it'd be down to 1, some days it was never enough that they felt comfortable with to freeze. So canceled that, and at a time I didn't think much of it. I mean, I kind of did. It was kind of heartbreaking looking at that ultrasound, seeing that one little follicle, and just being like, that's my hope right there. Please stay. And the next day it was gone. So from the age of 13 to now, I haven't had a period naturally. I was on birth control and then would stop for the week to stimulate period, and then get right back onto birth control. And then when Caleb and I started trying for a baby, I went off of birth control and there was no period again. It's been a couple hours since I last talked to you guys. Caleb came home and shared with him the news. Caleb wants what is absolutely the best for me, and he wants me to be safe, and this is something we both really, really wanted and still want. There's no definitive answers. There's still tests that could be run, and a miracle could happen. You never know. As soon as I told him, he said, "We will figure this out." No idea what the future holds. There's still a part of me that's like super, super hopeful and like encouraged, but also I think it's because I know in the deepest part of me that my purpose is to be a mom. Alright, so Caleb is here now. You guys know my struggles with getting pregnant, and even more so getting my period. But like I was saying, I really appreciate that I have my husband this time around getting the news. The first time I got this news, I was 19 and single and had all this other stuff going on, and was in college and about to go back to school. Like, I had a lot of things going on, and so it kind of it happened, and I got the news, and it hurt in the moment, but I had a lot of things distracting me. I don't know, I'm more grateful that I have answers now than I am that the answers came with a dagger to the heart. Because that's what we went in for, was to get answers, and we got them. And there's still things that we can do. I mean, there's tests that we could
still have options.
We're doing our best to, well, I'm doing my best to help my body naturally without bringing in medications, but with the threat of getting early onset osteoporosis from my body not creating estrogen, I want to be safe. And, you know, I feel like we're still very hopeful. And there's options, and we've always wanted to adopt. That's always been one of our options.
Oh, we're gonna adopt whether we have a baby or not.
No matter how this child comes into our life, we're gonna love it. More than life itself, whether it comes from out of me or out of anyone else, or through adoption, through fostering, whatever the case. They can know that we love them and we pray for them daily, and we're fighting for them. Love our baby wherever it comes from. We love our baby. Like, we're meant to be parents. Like, I know.
I was born to be a dad.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's gonna happen. We're just in this waiting phase that hit a bump. love you.
I love you.
We really do appreciate all the kind words and encouragement you guys have always given us.
So, this is Megan and Caleb
Signing
signing off.
Bye.